Hello everybody and welcome to Lunch Break Live, Real Talk About Obesity, Food Addiction Recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari Cruz, happy to be back with you today to close out the week on finally a Friday here in Southern California. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? Anything good going on? Anything healthy scheduled for your downtime? I know some of you guys have to work the weekend. I'm really sorry about that. But, when you're off work, I'm working, so it all balances out somehow. Anyway, hey, Becca, welcome. So glad you made it. Now, listen, I have to warn you all now. My mom has an appointment today, so she may or may not be here to be my Walmart greeter, which is weird because my mom doesn't miss shows. She's like always here. I'm a little freaked out, but I think I'll be okay because I'm learning to trust myself. Kind of interesting, don't you think? Especially after yesterday's show. So speaking of yesterday's show, what'd you guys think? Did you do your homework? I'm just curious. What came out of that program? Anything? I heard some people use the expression eye-opening. You caught my attention, one of my new friends said. So tell me, what was revealed to you? Anybody want to share anything? Let me know. Hey, how you doing, Kelly? I am glad that you are one of my regular viewers now, just like Becca. This is really, really awesome. So yeah, I'm eager to hear what you guys learned. Loved it. Right on. Okay. And let's see. I got to put my glasses on because, I try to read and then I squint and I look silly. Hey, Donna, are you a newer viewer? Welcome. So glad that you're here. Oh, thanks. Thanks. You know what? I love being listened to. Let's be honest. Anyway, I'm really glad that you guys are here. And you know what? Yesterday, that whole, freaking out about support thing, going, come on, you guys, we got to get the message out there. People have to know. And you guys had that great feedback. And I think it was Christy, you wise woman, you were like, why don't you just go contact the administrators of some of those, bariatric support groups and see if they're interested in sharing your support information, right? So I'm like, look, I don't like to promote myself. I always feel like, attraction, not promotion. That's sort of an OA, Overeaters Anonymous kind of thing. But I realized, look, I'm not promoting myself because A, I'm not selling anything, but B, if they don't know about me, well, then I shouldn't be surprised if they don't get to join me, right? So I just went out there, no fear. I just said, you know what? Are you guys interested? Now, I haven't heard back from any of them yet, but I'm not taking it personally. In the past, I would have been, oh my God, it's me. But you know what? Maybe it's them. Anyway, just wanted you guys to know, this recovery is a process. It's not about perfection. I am certainly not perfect, but I am all about the process. And part of the process is building on what we learn. And I know that we learned a lot yesterday about trust. Do you trust you, right? So today is something of a continuation of that. Although if you didn't watch yesterday's show, don't freak out. This show is not like a part 2 for Harry Potter where you have to have seen episode 1 or you won't understand it. Don't worry. It'll make you want to go back and watch yesterday's show, though, if you didn't. I think, if I'm doing it right. I don't know. All right, so let's talk, shall we? Hi, Sarah. How are you? Welcome. All right. So, Erin, right on. You're back, too. I love this, you guys. I love meeting new people and growing our community. Our growing community of shrinking people. I love it. All right, so today's show. If you don't trust you, why should you listen to you? It's so logical, right? Logical. But so many of us are feeding our emotions and operating out of our emotions. We think obesity is a physical disease. Guess what? It's also an emotional disease and a spiritual disease and a mental disease. It is. It affects the entire person. So, yeah, if you don't trust you, why should you listen to you? Let's talk. So yesterday's program, Do You Trust You? I want to know by a show of thumbs up. Did you guys do your homework? Now that more people are here, I need to know. Did you guys do your homework? Okay. Now, again, Facebook, lag time, doesn't like to show me right away. How many of you remember what the homework was? Okay, I see a thumbs up. Maybe you don't remember what the homework. Okay, lots of thumbs up flying by. Awesome. Did anything come out of it? Was anything revealed to you where you guys went, whoa, I never thought about it that way? I hope so. All right, here's a refresher. So if you don't remember the homework or if you didn't see yesterday's program, here is what we're building upon, okay? I encouraged you guys to, hey, Steve, I'm glad you made it. And Joey, first listen. First-time caller, long-time listener. No, you're a first-time listener and a first-time viewer. Hey, welcome, Joe. I'm really glad you're here. Okay, so yesterday's homework was this. I asked you guys to make a list of the ways in which you were untrustworthy in the treatment of your disease. Okay, I know that's like loaded, right? Very, very powerful. But this was all about owning your crap and coming clean. It's not about judging yourself, not about beating yourself up and deciding you're bad and wrong and awful, okay? We have to begin to understand why we don't trust ourselves before we can begin to trust ourselves, don't you think? I mean, if we don't know why we don't trust ourselves, that's what that list was all about yesterday. The ways in which we let ourselves down, the ways in which we were unreliable, the ways in which we demonstrated that we weren't worthy of trust to ourselves. Okay, so that's what yesterday's homework was all about. So if you weren't here yesterday, go back and watch the show if you'd like. I think it's really good. But also, start the homework, okay? You're not that far behind. All right, and you're not being graded. I think that's really important. This is not graded on a curve. All right, why is trust so important? I mean, I keep talking about trust and harping on it. Why is it so important? Well, I kind of think if you don't trust someone, it's hard to believe them, right? I mean, if you don't trust someone, do you believe them? I like to think I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know. Do you listen to them? If you don't trust someone, do you listen to them? More importantly, do you do what they tell you to do? Now, I'm betting there were a lot of no's out there, right? You're like, if I don't trust someone, no, I don't believe them. No, I don't listen to them. And I sure as hell don't do what they tell me to do, right? A lot of knowing. Okay. Well, now we're going to do knowing with a K. If you do trust them, I like to think you don't do it for long because maybe you decide, I don't know, you'll never do it again. Even if someone you trust asks you. That happens sometimes, right? That's like the extreme where you're like, if someone abuses your trust, right, someone you don't trust, you listen to them, you believed them, and, you know, you did what they told you to do, and then everything, all hell broke loose, okay, right? You decide, oh, I'm never trusting anybody again. That can happen. That can be the extreme outcome of that behavior. Well, that brings me to today's talk. If you don't trust you, why should you listen to you? So if we've established that you don't like to listen to people that you don't trust, or if you did listen to them, you learn not to trust, then why would you trust if you don't trust yourself, why would you listen to yourself? All right. So yesterday I talked about the significance of a track record in considering who you're going to trust. A track record. So a solid track record of success makes someone more trustworthy. Don't you guys agree? A solid track record of failure, on the other hand, should make someone less trustworthy, wouldn't you think? I mean, if someone failed all the time, you're not really going to trust them, right? Well, a lot of us have long track records of failure. I mean, I'm raising my hand on that one, you guys. You know that. Long, long history of failure back there, 40 plus years of experience. And that probably means we don't trust ourselves, right? All right. If we don't trust ourselves, we don't listen to ourselves either when we say things like this. Ready? So again, if we don't trust ourselves, we don't listen to ourselves when we say things like this. Today's the day. I'm turning over a new leaf and I'm taking back my life. I'm cutting out the carbs and hitting the gym. Okay? Here's my New Year's resolution. I will lose 50 pounds this year. I'm going to have weight loss surgery so I can wear a size 4 and never have to worry about being fat again. Well, the funny thing is, okay, when we say those things, even though we don't trust ourselves, we manage to listen to ourselves sometimes. Mostly when we're saying stuff like this. You'll never reach your goal. You'll regain everything you always do. Can't do this. There's no way. You've never done it before. What makes you think you're going to do it this time? No one else believes you can do it. Why should you believe you can? You may reach goal, but you're not going to stay there for long. You're worthless. Oh, and you're ugly, and you're hopeless, and you should just give up now. So isn't that interesting, okay? We don't trust ourselves, and we say we don't want to listen to people that we don't trust, and yet we listen to ourselves sometimes, and other times we don't. I cannot figure this out. Doesn't this seem baffling to you? It seems baffling to me. All right. This is where the rubber meets the recovery road. I'm serious, you guys, all right? This is where I think it is time to rewrite or write, whatever you want to say, the rules of trust and belief in all areas of life, okay? So yesterday's homework was all about honesty, okay? Owning your crap. Why the honesty? Why was I harping on that? Why does that matter? Because it's easier to believe someone who tells the truth. Don't you agree? Isn't that part of, reliability and trustworthiness, is knowing that they're telling the truth, that they're not lying to you, okay? That's why honesty is so important. That's why now we are talking about this, okay? We own our crap so that we can lay a foundation where we can begin to build or rebuild trust. And in order to do that, we're going to have to, maybe the first brick that we lay is going to be honesty, or we decide we're going to be honest and truthful with ourselves, even if, okay? So this is the next part of the process, you guys, okay? Identify your lies. Yikes. Nobody told me this was going to be hard. Yeah, it is. But it's going to be a lot harder if we don't do it, okay? It's not going to get easier. So make a list of the things that you tell yourself or have told yourself in the past and believed, okay? Here's some ideas. Don't worry, I'm not throwing you out there expecting you to come up with your own list all by yourself, although I'm pretty sure once you get started, you'll be fine. All right, here are some lies that you've told yourself and believed. You'll never amount to anything. You're an embarrassment. You have no value. You have never succeeded at anything. You always let everybody down. You're not as good as your sister. You aren't smart enough to do this. You'll never be able to stick with it. No one likes you. Ooh. Guess what, guys? Those are lies that we accept as truth. Don't even argue with them, do we? They're lies. Write them down. Okay, maybe there are some lies that started life as truths. Okay, so they're founded in truths like this. You never finish what you start, and you never will. So maybe at some point you just started stopping and didn't start again. And now the conclusion is you'll never finish anything because you never did. Okay. You can't do it perfectly, so you shouldn't do it at all. There's that perfectionism thing. You can't depend on anyone. Maybe there were people you couldn't depend on in life. Well, now you've decided you can't depend on anyone. No one understands your struggles, right? So maybe some people that you turned to that you hoped and expected to understand your struggles didn't or don't. So now you've decided that no one understands your struggles. And there's a lie that may have had a foundation, a kernel of truth at some point, saying that person didn't understand my struggles. The person I wanted to understand my struggles didn't understand. Therefore, I'm just going to extend it to everyone. Okay? Here are some more lies. These get a little trickier. Okay? Here's a lie. You have to get on the scale every day or you won't be able to manage your weight loss. You have to post pictures of yourself daily to be accountable. Lie. You don't have to measure everything. Come on, you can just eyeball it sometimes. Lie. Honey isn't like sugar. Lord have mercy. Lie. You deserve to cheat sometimes. You should get a day off from eating right. Everyone gains weight on vacation, at Christmas, and over the holidays. Oh, and during menopause. You deserve cake, right? Don't deprive yourself of cake, because then it's just going to become forbidden fruit, and then you're just going to eat a lot of it, right? Lie. You can't be addicted to food because you need it to live. Lie. Obesity is a choice. At some point, you don't need support anymore because you have it all figured out. You've got this. Just go with what you know. Lie. All right, got it? You getting it? See, it's kind of tricky, right? Not always as obvious as you think, because a lot of these lies are perpetuated or perpetrated by other people in our community. They're all sharing the lies with you, so they must be true. Nope, they are not. And that's why you're having trouble trusting yourself, because they're lies. All right, sort through the lies. That's what we got to do, okay? Kind of sort them out. The ones that seem believable but aren't, the ones that started from truth, and the ones you would absolutely never believe if someone else said them, right? So if someone else came up to you and said, "You're ugly," I would hope you wouldn't believe them, and you'd go, that's a big thank you for sharing. I never asked your opinion. You know, whatever, okay? The thing that you would never believe if someone else said it to you. So sort them out. That kind of helps you. Maybe put them in columns or maybe identify them, okay? Because not all lies are cut from the same cloth. All right. How would you rewrite them as truth? Because, of course, that's the next part here. We need to rewrite them as truth so that we can begin to trust ourselves and believe in ourselves, because we're not going to be liars, right? Okay. You have value. You matter. You can do this. You can learn what you don't know. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Be dependable and accept your own struggles. You don't need to weigh to know if you're managing your health. You really can't eyeball everything. Honey is sugar. You deserve to be healthy. Health doesn't take a day off, even for vacation, the weekend, or Christmas. You can be addicted to food because you don't need Twinkies to live. Obesity is a disease that you must choose to treat. You always need support. So right there, I have just rewritten some lies and made them truth, right? When you stop lying, okay? This really is the bottom line, okay? I'm calling it the bottom line. When you stop lying, you can begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you can live in recovery. Recovery does not mean you ignore things. It means you handle things in a healthy way. All right, so that's what I have to say about trusting yourself and why you struggle maybe to trust yourself, because you've been lying to yourself. We don't want to trust people that we can't believe. So we need to become believable people so we can learn to trust ourselves, right? Not easy, guys. Not easy. I understand. Not an overnight thing. Not a flip. Not a flip that you switch. Not a switch that you flip. Not permanent either. We can fall right back into those old familiar behaviors and do the things we always did because we have a lot of experience doing it. And we also did not get a lot of pushback, right? Not a lot of resistance to doing things the old way. Only there was a lot of resistance, like in your pants, you know, when they resisted every time you tried to put them on and sit down in them and they'd rip. There's where your resistance really was, in your clothes and in how you fit into, you know, the airplane seat or the booth at the restaurant. There's some resistance for you. So I'm going to take a look at what you guys are talking about real quickly before I sign off. Let's scroll back up to the top, shall we? All righty, let's see here. All right, so I already said hi, did a little shout out to a few of y'all. And Aaron gave me a link to a group that I can share in, I think. That's what you're telling me, right? You share it, honey. Go for it. I give you permission. All right. I already did my shout out to my boys, my new guy, Joey, and Steve. Glad you are here. Angela, were you like texting me while the show was on? Was that what was popping up? Messengering me? Maybe it wasn't you. I'm glad you're here. Hi. All right. I don't want to. Okay. Joey says, I don't trust or listen to the 425-pound-old brain. Good. Don't listen to it because it lies, right? That's how it got that way. So turn it in and turn it off and turn it over. There you go. And start telling it truths, you know. Start believing in yourself, you know, so that you can trust yourself. All right. Hi, Trisha. I'm really glad that you are here too. Let's see. Joni. Hi. And Delwyn. Hey. I think I've seen you on a couple of other shows. I'm happy to see you back. And Jean, hey, how's Greg doing? I see that he's, you know, working the system, working the program here. You know, he's on the loser's bench with us on the other side of his bariatric surgery. Tell him I'm thinking of him. Nina, hi, I'm glad you're here. Let's see here. Rebecca, you made it. Good job. I hope you're getting better and better every single day. You're here, you're late. I would never know you were late if you didn't tell me. I promise. Not you. Well, I have no idea. Someone was like texting me in the middle. Anyway, all right, guys. If you don't have anything else to talk to me about, I think I'll let you go early today. I'm going to let class go early today so you can work on your homework. But seriously, really, really glad that you were able to join me today. Okay, Deborah's saying something. I gotta put my glasses on. Hey, Deborah. At work, but here for as long as I can be. All right, I am glad you're here. Should I whisper? Should I keep my voice down so the office doesn't hear? Okay, I can do it. All right, listen, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to thank you for being here. Really, really grateful for that. We had a good week, didn't we? I think we talked about a lot of really important stuff. Didn't we talk about what? Diet mentality versus recovery mentality. That one got a lot of traction, a lot of views. A lot of people really, really caught on with that show. We talked about trusting ourselves and the fact that we don't. And now today we're talking about why we don't trust ourselves and how we can begin to build a trusting relationship with ourselves by telling ourselves the truth. You know, stopping the lies. Got to make a list of them so we can reveal them and know what they are. Have courage, you guys. This does take courage. Able to face ourselves and say, you've been lying, okay? You've been like Cari. You have been lying to yourself and you've been believing your own lies. No wonder you don't trust yourself when you say you're going to do X or Y, or you're not going to do X or Y, right? Okay. So remember that as we go through the weekend and pick it up again on the other side on Monday. Let me know what you guys want to talk about if you have something burning. I think one of the things I'm going to be working on is maybe something called the identity crisis, how our identities, how we struggle to figure out who we are as we see ourselves in ways we've never seen ourselves, and how we actually struggle to see ourselves accurately because maybe we never have. Okay, so I'm going to be maybe working on something like that, the whole identity crisis thing. Anything else you guys want to talk about, just let me know. Also, thank you for those of you who asked for my list of all of the programs that I've done up to March. I still have all of April I've got to fill in here, but I was able to send you guys an Excel spreadsheet that also had links to the shows so you could see them and share them with others. And I kind of identify the topic, the subject matter that we talk about. And I don't know about you, but when I look back over that list, I am amazed by the amount of ground that we have covered. We have talked about a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with food. Is that remarkable or what? Nary a recipe to be found on this show. Isn't that amazing? And that is because the stuff that's